The Amnesia series sits comfortably among the scariest horror games ever. Each entry tells a personal story about survival against supernatural forces, where they are constantly staying one step ahead of nightmarish monsters nipping at their heels or the growing anxiety that looms over every encounter. But developer Frictional Games' upcoming sequel, Amnesia: The Bunker, takes a unique approach to story-driven survival horror, focusing more on the moment-to-moment actions and choices you make when taking the daring plunge into the unknown. After my hands-on time with it, I felt more unnerved and impressed with what tricks this series still has in store. Amnesia: The Bunker takes place during the height of World War I, playing as the French soldier Henry Clement, caught in the trenches during a grueling battle. He finds himself in a seemingly abandoned bunker's infirmary with little memory of what occurred since the conflict. Planning an escape, he gathers resources and uncovers the creepy experiments that have occurred in the facility, including an encounter with a monster known as the Beast, which lurks throughout the bunker while avoiding the light. After the more cinematic and plot-heavy Amnesia Rebirth, The Bunker feels more like a back-to-basics approach with its streamlined narrative. This is to give way for the new world design, focusing on a less guided and semi-open setting to explore. You'll need to collect resources and ammo to survive in the base, all while keeping the bunker's lights on. In an added twist, the placement of collectible items like bullets and fuel are also randomly placed around the environment, all to ensure that you don't get too attached to a particular survival strategy. The setting of World War I is a clever and visually striking environment for Amnesia, which turns the already horrific time period into even more of a nightmare to contend with. What I found truly unique and intriguing about The Bunker is that it moves the moody aesthetic of the Amnesia series to a more traditional survival horror experience. Compared to previous entries, this sequel moves a bit closer to classic Resident Evil, but with that deliberate and steadfast pace that Amnesia is known for. As a soldier, Henry is more capable of defending himself than other protagonists from the series. Along with a gun, he can also use grenades, flares, and other makeshift instruments to defend himself, and even bust open pathways to new areas. He also has access to a handy, yet still shoddy dynamo lamp, which needs to be hand-cranked for each use, adding a little extra tension. As with Amnesia, you're much better off avoiding conflict and laying low. For instance, using your revolver will require extremely careful aim, and to check your ammo, you'll need to unfasten the ammo cylinder to count how many bullets you have left. It's all very Amnesia in how it carefully and deliberately gets you to interact with the world, which again adds to the tension. During my first hour, I had to find some explosives and a detonator to blow open a collapsed exit. Outside of the safe room in the administration office, which has the storage container and the bunker's generator, were tunnels that led deeper into the bunker. While checking the rooms, I could find some precious fuel for the generator and cloth to craft healing items. But just as I was about to descend further, the lights in the hall began to dim, and the growing roars of the beast filled the halls. I immediately returned to the safe room and locked the door behind me. Therein lies the core of what sets The Bunker apart from the rest of the Amnesia series, in that it's a game of extremely careful resource management in an open setting, as opposed to a tight linear narrative experience. Every time you decide to leave your safe haven, you're on the clock before the generator runs out, so you'll need to make your moves on the outside count. I did enjoy the expansive nature of the game and its freeform approach to careful navigation, but sometimes I felt it caused a paralyzing feeling. In addition, there were some moments I felt overwhelmed by the game's scope and relentless vibe, which ended up making me make some wasted trips because I was just too careful. This did cause some feelings of minor frustration, but I always managed to find my footing again and made some progress. Blending the dense and unnerving atmosphere of Amnesia with the resource management and the act of carefully navigating into danger is a potent mix for a horror game. And so far, Amnesia: The Bunker is shaping up to be an exciting turn for the franchise, which still manages to keep up its scares. For more on upcoming video games, check out our hands-on previews for Redfall, The Remnant 2, and Star Wars Jedi Survivor. And of course, for everything else video games, stick with IGN.